important to not only the players but the fans to be able to give that back.
Well, oh, how different this could have been. First versus second with a fortnight of the Premier League season to go. Instead, it is the confirmed champions, Liverpool, against second place, Arsenal. And it is Arsenal, the visitors, who kick off without Declan Rice, without the injured Declan Rice, not involved at all. And the ball is played back by Odegaard to Raya, who immediately pumps it away downfield. For Arsenal, quite daunting this. The emotions and the exertions of Paris on Wednesday night to go from the Parc des Princes and Champions League elimination in the semi-finals to taking on the buoyant Premier League champions here at Anfield. And saying that, of course, they did lose at Chelsea this time last week, but here their record is excellent as a tackle snaps in from Bradley in the centre circle, and you can hear how that's been received. He's now very much seen as the heir apparent after the week's news of Trent Alexander-Arnold's imminent departure.
Yeah, well, one of the things we know with Conor Bradley is he likes to be physical, he likes the aggressive side of the game. We saw it against Real Madrid here when he lifted Kylian Mbappe, and it was arguably one of the loudest moments of the night, and he knows how to pick a crowd up. Now the Liverpool crowd serenade him with his song.
Yes, and inevitably I noticed as well the television cameras immediately after that Bradley tackle, right focusing in on the face of Trent Alexander-Arnold sitting on the bench. That's football.
I think there'll be plenty of that between now and the end of the season. I know we've probably only got 3 games to go, but I think the camera operators and the directors will be looking for those responses from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
As Arsenal fire this free kick across field, Bradley in on the challenge, jumping in on the tackle. And I think that is given as a...
He's given a foul, John.
He has given a foul, and is he getting the yellow card out for... No, he's not. He's getting the spray out for Bradley, because it was an aerial challenge. And we've already heard Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea being sent off for a flailing arm today, but it's just a free kick for the aerial challenge on Merino. But the arm is up there.
Yeah, I'm not so sure there's much in that. It's his knee in the back and causes the problem for Mikel Merino. I think more than anything, John, I think he's just winded, and I think that's the issue. But a lot of surprise on Conor Bradley's face that the foul was given for that challenge.
So no Declan Rice. Mikel Arteta, when he was asked pre-match, didn't say what the injury was that Declan Rice has. He just said he couldn't train. So perhaps more on that later, perhaps not. Free kick for Arsenal on the left flank. Odegaard to take this. He has created goals, set up goals, Odegaard, in 3 of his last 5 matches. And in the Crystal Palace match, they had a free kick from round about this point that was headed in by Kivior. And we know how potent they are from set pieces. Odegaard raised his right arm. The 4 Arsenal men in the box run across the line. In comes the ball to the back post. Saka is there to shoot across the face of goal. And there is no offside flag. Well, it looked close. I have to say, I thought he was offside. But he shot wide anyway.
Yeah, I think it was really interesting setup from Arsenal. What they did do is he's probably 3 yards onside Bukayo Saka as the ball comes into him. The Liverpool players try to step up as 4 Arsenal players are in an offside position, but Saka runs from 5 yards deeper, times his run perfectly. As it comes into him, just tries to side foot it into the bottom corner, almost scuffs it into the floor. Big opportunity for Arsenal.
Yeah, big miss from Saka in the early stages. Free kick, good tackle by Odegaard in the centre circle on Luis Diaz. Arsenal have it on the left-hand side as they attack towards the Kop in the first half. Martinelli's little ball into Trossard inside the box and then goes back to Partey, 30 yards from goal. It was brilliantly worked, actually, the free kick. The 4 Arsenal players who were all in an offside position, it was like a dance routine, wasn't it? They were so well drilled. They all, from offside position, ran back on. Liverpool still looking to clear this way on the edge of the area. And as Stephen Warnock says, Bukayo Saka coming from a very much onside position as Saliba loses out to Diaz. That was a little too casual from the Arsenal number 2. And now Luis Diaz has got it on the left-hand side. Merino's in with the challenge. I think he slipped as he came in. And the ball's out of play, and he might have just fallen awkwardly there, Diaz, so the throw-in is not going to be taken instantly, while the referee who is Anthony Taylor, comes just to see how Diaz is. Let's go back to Rome and Russell Fuller at the tennis.
Jack Draper has completed victory, John, beating the qualifier Vit Kopriva 6-4, 6-3. He'll play the unseeded Corentin Moutet in the last 16. Coco Gauff for Emma Raducanu at the same stage tomorrow.
Throw-in is taken by Liverpool, but Arsenal have won it back. Here's Trossard down the right wing, still going. He's got two Liverpool men with him. Szoboszlai with the challenge. He is able to win it back. Trossard plays it infield to the captain, Odegaard. Partey has got space here, middle of the half. Still going Partey. Then out towards the left-hand side. Martinelli is up against Bradley. Goes for the byline and overruns it. And a goal kick is given. A goal kick, and it is Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 on this 5 Live Premier League Sunday here at Anfield in the glorious sunshine, the warmth of Anfield, sun-kissed Merseyside, and a goal kick to Liverpool it is, which is going to be taken short by Van Dijk. BBC World Service listeners are with us here on this beautiful afternoon, and we're going to take you straight to Exeter, where it's possibly even more beautiful. Owain Gwynedd.
Exeter scored a fourth bonus point try. The Chiefs pack made a mess of the defensive 5-metre scrum for the Saints. The ball came loose and somehow Martin Maloney flopped over to score. The Chiefs on course for only a fourth win of the season and end the Saints' playoff hopes. Less than 15 to go. Exeter 28, Northampton 14.
Your choice of listening right now is the Challenge Cup semi-final. Liverpool coming forward. Robertson's ball across the penalty area. That's shepherded back by Lewis Scully to Raya, who's able to come out and then, quick as you like, overarms it out. Maybe too quick. The Liverpool mocking cheers will tell you that he threw it straight out of play as he was trying to set Martinelli away down the left wing. Yes, right now on Sports Extra, on your digital radio or via BBC Sound, search for Sports Extra. Alisson's clearance has hit Trossard, and he's rather fortunate there, and that the ball has actually dropped over his head, and he's able to turn around and catch it very coolly. That could have gone horribly wrong.
It could have gone horribly wrong, and it nearly did go horribly wrong. He was very lucky, Alisson. He just seemed to be very lethargic over the ball and took an age to actually play the pass, but Liverpool have had a couple of opportunities to get through, and they're through again.
Here they go again. Diaz sets Jones away. That's an excellent ball across to Salah. Salah on his left foot, back. Diaz. Oh, what a save from Raya. Diaz, I have to say, did shoot straight at the Arsenal goalkeeper, but he still had to keep it out. Jones again. Excellent work from him in the build-up to that last chance. Should be 1-0 Liverpool. Gakpo's cross is then blocked away on the edge of the box. But Raya making the save to keep out Diaz.
Yeah, big miss from Diaz. A simple opportunity, but Liverpool come again.
As it's miscontrolled behind by Szoboszlai. The ball chipped over the top. Goal kick. Arsenal 0-0.
Should do better, Diaz. It's not that much of a difficult opportunity for him. It's beautifully worked down the left-hand side as Curtis Jones flicks a ball with the outside of his right foot into Mohamed Salah, just bends it round the back line, and Salah puts it on a plate for Diaz. He takes one touch, and that's probably his biggest downfall of his game. He's not a natural finisher. Almost lashed at the ball and struck it right down the throat of Raya. Simple save in the end for the goalkeeper.
The surprise there that it didn't result in Salah having a go at goal. Very unselfish to set Diaz up, 12 yards out, 10 yards out?
Yeah, I think the opportunity for Salah was blocked off by Miles Lewis-Skelly, and it just created an opportunity for Diaz. It was the right pass, and it was just a poor execution.
The foul throw is given by the assistant on this side of the field. Gary Bezic spotted that the Arsenal player who took the throw, Ben White, stepped onto the pitch.
It was a really good spot, John, because if he hadn't have spotted that, Martinelli had made a lovely run in behind and caught the Liverpool backline out, and he's probably 10-15 yards ahead of them.
You don't often see those given, and it does happen.
It does a lot.
It happens a lot, and you very, very rarely see it given, and as you say, they would have been away. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0, and the latest in the Challenge Cup semi-final, by the way, is Warrington 12, Lee 4. It's on Sports Extra right now. As
John, I'll tell you,
Arsenal's way.
Well, I'll tell you why the boos are, because Marino's just gone down, holding his head under a challenge from Gravenberch. He then bounces up and asks the referee why it's not being given, and continues like there's nothing wrong with him. So almost a little bit of play acting from Mikel Merino there.
Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. 5 Live in the World Service from the BBC. Going to go to Wembley in a moment for the latest on the FA Trophy final, but Arsenal trying to work this ball forward. Arsenal, who are now under a little bit of pressure in second place in the table. They'd be under more pressure if Manchester City had won yesterday, as Lewis Skelly does well to hold the ball up against Jones, who's made an excellent start to the match, the Liverpool midfielder. And then challenge on Odegaard, centre field from Van Dijk. That's not given as a free kick. Odegaard doesn't like that. And in the end, Alisson, the bearded Liverpool goalkeeper, sweeps a high ball forward. Kivior's underneath that one. Szoboszlai fouls Partey, and that's a free kick to Arsenal. So come in Wembley, come in Sohail Sahi.
20 minutes played here, John. Aldershot Town 0, Spennymoor Town 0. Aldershot of the National League have made it a better start. Aaron Jones and Tyler Frost have been denied by the Spennymoor goalkeeper. 20 minutes played, Aldershot 0, Spennymoor 0.
Very enjoyable interview with Graham Lee, the Spennymoor manager, on 5 Live earlier this afternoon, just before they set off for Wembley. If you didn't hear that, you could catch up with it on BBC Sounds, where you can rewind the live radio, maybe later. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. Here's Odegaard on the right-hand side. Odegaard then infield towards Partey. It definitely lacks a dimension. It would do, because Rice is in such good form, but this Arsenal midfield without him. Marino back in there now. Odegaard trying to play the ball forward, but that's deflected away. Liverpool are going to be off on the counter-attack here. Szoboszlai carries it into the centre circle, then gives it to his left to Gakpo. Gakpo now into the box on the left-hand side. He's forced by White to turn away from the penalty area, and they've defended that well. Arsenal actually between them. Odegaard coming back. I think Odegaard might have got his shirt top ripped right open by Gakpo as the two of them tangled, and then Trossard's ball asks a great deal of Martinelli. Bradley chips it away, and he's been able to chip it forward to the Liverpool top scorer, the new Football Writers Footballer of the Year, winning it for the 3rd time. That was confirmed this week. Mo Salah, the latest of probably quite a number of awards at the end of this season, I would think, Stephen.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, scintillating form this season. I'll just come back to that, John.
Ball played forward for Saka, but as he ran shoulder to shoulder with Robertson, it hit Saka on the back and bounced away and behind him, and Robertson was able to clear.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal, hasn't he, Mohamed Salah? I think his early season form was spectacular, and obviously the contract negotiations were taking place in the background and didn't really let it affect him. I think the period when he probably slowed down was the most important period of Liverpool's season in the Champions League, and I think that was the only sort of blip on his card this season, was those 2 performances against Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, just went quiet at that time, didn't he, those matches, and the cup final as well, the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle. So Saka now on the right-hand side. Already Arsenal and Saka have had a great chance, but Diaz had a great chance as well at the other end, but neither of them were able to score, so it remains 0-0 here, with Arsenal in possession on the left-hand side. Martinelli, Arsenal wearing the sort of charcoal grey, the blacky grey away shirts, white shorts, white socks. Liverpool all in red. Salah taking the ball forward, actually played it past Kivior as the challenge came in, and he caught him, and it's a free kick to Liverpool, 5 or 6 yards inside their own half. So yes, right now it's Newcastle in 3rd place in the Premier League table. So Newcastle, Stephen, are currently 1 point behind, or at least at kick-off, Newcastle were 1 point behind Arsenal. So Arsenal 67 points, Newcastle 66, Manchester City 65, Chelsea and Aston Villa 63, and Nottingham Forest 62 after the earlier scorelines.
Well, yesterday on BBC's Final Score, I said that Nottingham Forest wouldn't make it into the top 5, but I also stupidly said Newcastle wouldn't. I thought Chelsea might go there and do a number on them. However,
very much not.
Silly red card from Nicholas Jackson.
As Jones has got to be careful. Partey's dispossessed him. Arsenal delaying. They might lose this chance. Trossard's got it back. Twist, right foot shot. That's blocked. And Liverpool are very fortunate there. It was Jones in the end who actually made up for his own error, but Arsenal have got it back on the left. Here's the ball across to Gravenberch in position to get a touch, but not cleared away either by Szoboszlai. So Arsenal come again. They've only got themselves to blame there. There were actually too many Arsenal players. There were 3 of them, and between them they contrived to not even get a shot on goal.
Yeah, well, if you saw the the Brighton game against, or the Wolves game against Brighton yesterday. Think of Mateus Cunha as the ball's played into him, taking an age, getting caught out on it. The Arsenal players dallying on the ball, sort of passing the buck onto each other. Who's going to take that shot on between Trossard and Partey? They made a right mess of it. Unfortunately for Liverpool, they get away with it, and Curtis Jones especially will be thankful that the two players were asking each other who was going to finish it.
Yeah, he was dispossessed by Partey. It was an unlikely episode, that. Jones, the furthest man back, and the man who dispossessed him was Partey in the penalty area. But they weren't able to get the shot in. Liverpool got bodies back. Trossard's shot was blocked by Jones. And anyway, we've now got a free kick to Arsenal over on the left-hand side. It's 0-0. Odegaard swings it in left-footed. Bradley got his head to it, twisting near the near post, headed it across his own penalty area, headed away by Robertson, but Arsenal have got it back. Saka, right side of the box, curls it in precisely. Martinelli heads it back across, but no one there. No one there in the middle, in the centre-forward position for Arsenal. Sound familiar? Here's Saka. Now it is Salah for Liverpool as they sweep forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Salah's ball across the box. Diaz trying to shoot on the turn. Too many bodies in there. Merino slides in for Arsenal. And Merino, excellent challenge in his own box, and Arsenal are able to get it away.
It was a big opportunity for Arsenal, wasn't it? A lovely floated ball to the back post, and Conor Bradley just losing the flight of the ball, and lovely little header down from Trossard into an area where you thought, who's going to run in? And as you say, John, no one's got that instinct and that desire to get on the end of it and think, where might the ball fall? Where can I gamble into a good area? Another good opportunity for Arsenal.
Somebody's phone in the old-fashioned style rings very loudly behind us. A real old-fashioned ringtone. Yeah, Arsenal, of course. I think you do have to underline it. No Havertz, no Jesus. And it's a simple fact of life. I felt it in the first 20 minutes in the Parc des Princes the other night. And yes, Donnarumma made the saves. But I think if you've got a real danger man in there, it totally changes the dynamic. And they've simply not had that, Arsenal, this season. It's an old story, but it's how it is.
Yeah, however, he could have rectified that in the January transfer window, decided not to do it. One of the things Mikel Arteta always said was, we'll bring another midfielder in, we'll get goals from elsewhere. There's enough goals within this team. Maybe they do need to change the style, and maybe they do need that centre-forward who is capable of being the fox in the box, as we always used to call them.
Free kick to Arsenal. 15 yards inside their own half. You know, so Havertz has got 15 goals, Saka 12 in all competitions, Trossard's got 10. Arsenal are taking an age to take this free kick, and you can tell the reaction there around Anfield. Declan Rice with 8 goals, Martinelli with 9 goals. So they've weighed in. I think Odegaard with just 5 goals. They would have expected more from him. He did have that spell with injury, but he's not been the force that he was in the last couple of seasons, the Arsenal captain. But clearly and quite obviously they are looking at it, but it will cost, won't it? But it becomes all the more important this summer.
Well, I think the other part of that, John, is Liverpool will also be after a striker. Where do you want to go? If they both pick the phone up, which club are you going to? Who do you see yourself playing for, and what style of striker does that look like? And the one then that's being branded about will be very interesting as well, because Newcastle have now put themselves within those Champions League places. If they can secure that, what's Isak's decision? Does he stay? Does he go? Does he feel like he wants a different type of challenge? But he's not going to be cheap. He's going to come at a premium.
I think the indications from Newcastle are that he's not going anywhere. Robertson, a long pass for Gakpo to chase. Saliba's trying to get there. Still Gakpo! And then he couldn't get the touch on it to send it to Salah. And Arsenal are able to clear it. I thought when Saliba put the initial challenge in, if Gakpo had gone down, that might have been a penalty. Robertson's ball in! Never mind! Gakpo heads it in the 6-yard box. And Liverpool are in front. One chance went, another one came along in a matter of seconds. And Liverpool are in front 1-0 against Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal caught sleeping. They just switch off for a second, and Liverpool are alive to the situation. A quick throw in, a quick ball into Andrew Robertson, and then A brilliant ball, a delicious ball from Andrew Robertson, just feeds it into an area and Gakpo can't miss, but he'll be delighted that he was given that second opportunity, Cody Gakpo, because he wasted a ball into Mohamed Salah. It was a real opportunity just to put the ball on a plate for Mohamed Salah. He didn't do it, but he's been able to rectify that situation within 10 seconds and he puts Liverpool one ahead.
From an Arsenal defensive point of view, that's a weary goal to concede, isn't it? You know, they were caught out by a quick throw. Robertson went racing away, Saka was nowhere near him, and next thing you know, Andy Robertson getting yet another assist to add to his long list of them, and Gakpo at the near post just had the formality really for a top-class footballer to direct it with his head inside the near post.
Yeah, I think the other side of it, John, is when the ball comes into Cody Gakpo,
here's another one for brilliant takedown by Szoboszlai, and then sliding. It's 2-0. Liverpool scored 2 goals in no time at all, and it's Luis Diaz this time, and Arsenal out of the Champions League in Paris in midweek are now being overwhelmed by the new champions here at Anfield. 2-0 with only 20 minutes on the clock.
Well, an incredible period of play from Liverpool. It can't be longer than a minute, 2 minutes that they find themselves 2 ahead. There was flares going off, smoke bombs going off from the first goal. The Liverpool fans were celebrating, and then a simple ball over the top to Szoboszlai. A brilliant run in behind, and he cannot believe his luck. Breaks that back line. He goes for the shot, but Diaz, he's not convinced it's going to make the goal. He's the one who gets on the end of it, slides it into an empty goal. And Liverpool in dreamland.
I think you're right. I doubt there was 90 seconds between the 2 goals. We've not had the restart. Anthony Taylor's had to come across. I think some Liverpool fans thought that there might have been some sort of VAR issue, but I think it was something technical with the referee's equipment. And there we go, off we go. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. Gakpo and Diaz. And now the mood is absolutely jubilant here. And after the effort that was put in by Arsenal in Paris during the week, it's very, very hard to see Mikel Arteta's side coming back from this, even though we're only quarter of the way through the match.
Yeah, he's just been on the TV screen in front of us on our monitor. He's just looked to the heavens and a biggest sigh was puffed out. It was just a what's just happened, because they could have easily been a couple of goals ahead themselves. That chance for Saka earlier on, the opportunity for Trossard and Partey when Curtis Jones made the mistake, and then 2 sucker punches by Liverpool, and he's thinking, what has just happened? But that is why Liverpool have won this title, because they do have that ability on the break to hurt you.
Arsenal trying to do something about it. Marino in the D shoots, but that hits the legs of Van Dijk, and now Liverpool are off again. Jones, now Luis Diaz, the man who's just scored his 17th goal of the season. Through now, Diaz again on the edge of the box. Jones shoots on the turn! Diving across, Raya got a hand to it and pushed it wide. That was goal-bound as well. Could have been 3-0.
I have to say, Liverpool are sensational on the break. It's like the Red Arrows when they're breaking. They're going forward in numbers, but there's a real belief. But take nothing away from David Raya in the Arsenal goal. That is world-class. It's an outstanding save. He's at full length, down to his right-hand side, tips it round the post. It could have been 3 had it not been for Raya.
Liverpool already on their way to what would be an 8th consecutive home Premier League win. And yes, the title's already done, but I think they've got the taste in their mouths here as the ball comes in from the corner from the left-hand side from Szoboszlai, but too close to Raya, who's able to take the catch. Yeah, I think they've got a chance here, Liverpool, and you can smell it in the nostrils, can't you? You can either taste it or smell it, one of the two.
Yeah,
that they might be able to put a marker down for next season.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. I think they can sense it. I think they understand that there's an opportunity here to take this game to Arsenal. Arsenal look a little bit fragile. Liverpool dominating them in terms of physicality and speed.
They're after another one now. Szoboszlai, here's Diaz, dinks it in, and Raya was backpedaling. and was worried there for a moment. The goalkeeper right back to his line, groping for it. Unfortunately for Raya, it just landed on the roof of the net rather than dropping over him and in.
Yeah, Liverpool are finding so much space on the pitch. It's a little overlapping run from Diaz onto Szoboszlai. He shanks it. It's not a cross or a shot. He gets it horribly wrong. Diaz, if it had gone in, it wouldn't have been meant. But they are just dominant now, Liverpool. They're just finding their extra gear that we thought they might have in this game. Having been a little bit more rested, they haven't been away in Europe like this Arsenal team have.
This is the sound of jubilant Anfield for you here on 5 Live. Partey has tugged back, so that's a free kick to Arsenal on the halfway line. Let's get another update on the from the Premiership, from the Rugby Union. Exeter, Northampton, Owain Gwynedd.
Yeah, we're into the last 30 seconds here. 2 quick scores by Exeter put this game to bed. Paul Brand-Bampo and Harvey Skinner crossing for a brace apiece. 6 tries in all for the Chiefs as they are set to secure a 4th win of the season and condemn the Saints to missing out on the playoffs as they concentrate on next week's Champions Cup campaign. 42-14 as we reach the 80 minutes.
In the United Rugby Championship earlier, Scarlets won 32-19 against the Johannesburg Lions, and in the Challenge Cup semi-final it's now Warrington 14, Leigh 4, as Gakpo is brought down by Partey as he burst forward, probably 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. And the Arsenal body language does not look good.
No, it doesn't at all. I'm just watching Curtis Jones down in front of us. He just ran over to Arne Slot and just saying, we've got a problem with something, how do we fix it? I was very fortunate a couple of weeks ago, the game against Spurs, when Liverpool won the title, that I was sat down next to the bench and watching Arne Slot, how much he tries to fix it, the way he moves his players. He's constantly thinking about the game, how to hurt the opposition, but also how to thwart them as well. Great interaction there between the player and manager.
He's dressed for summer today, Arne Slot, all in navy blue. Free kick, Robertson plays it in, it's gone a long way, curled it beyond the back line. It's been kept in over there on the dead ball line by Trossard. Trossard turns and is able to work it away to Martinelli. Remember, Arsenal did have the first big chance of the match.
Look at Van Dijk's strides there, John.
Yes, trying to get back with Martinelli. Fortunately, he also had support there, Van Dijk, and Martinelli had to check back. Carnival atmosphere now. We've got, and to underline that, we've got red balloons bobbing onto the pitch as well from the far side. Liverpool songs in great voice. This is very tough for Arsenal. Here's Saka on the right. Saka, overlapping run from Ben White. Still Saka with the ball at his feet, goes for the byline, but Gakpo and Robertson are able just to ease him off the ball. And Diaz, one of the 2 goal scorers, Cody Gakpo the other one. So that for Gakpo now as well, his 18th goal of the season, 10 of them in the Premier League. But Arsenal with Trossard can't get there in the box. Covering challenge from Gravenberg. Diaz with a little touch to take that away. Ben White though, that's a good tackle from him for Arsenal. Gravenberg then put under pressure by Partey, and now suddenly Arsenal might find something. Odegaard, Trossard's ball across, took a deflection, but that deflection into the path of Konate, who was able to turn, readjust and side-footed out, and a Liverpool fan in the front row down there gets off his seat and heads it back onto the pitch.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Great header. Yeah, they look dangerous coming forward at times, Arsenal, but Liverpool swarming round the players, making sure that they're putting them under pressure, making it very difficult for them. It was interesting, John, I was reading the notes of Arne Slot talking about how important Szoboszlai is to this Liverpool team. It might not be the numbers that everyone wants from him in terms of goals and assists, but he talks about the pressing side of the game and how much better they are with him in the team, and that's why he's played so much football this season.
Here's Saka, low, lovely footwork, beats 2 men and then shoots across goal, but high as well, over the far top corner. And I'm still watching the ball bobbing around in amongst the heads and the hands of the Liverpool fans in the Kop, and then someone throws it back down to a ball boy in a very, very long bib. So goal kick to Liverpool. Arne Slot as well said in the programme today, the match programme, first thing was a massive thank you to the Liverpool supporters. He said, described them as unbelievable scenes, but also I felt very redolent of the kind of thing that Alex Ferguson would say. He was talking about having to start climbing the mountain all over again. Konate on the right wing, Bradley's ball across, Diaz couldn't turn it in, Saliba put the challenge in, and somehow Arsenal do not concede a third goal.
No, it was brilliant from Konate from the centre-half position. He had a ball onto Conor Bradley, who made a run in behind. He chose not to play that ball, but Conor Bradley continued his run. Konate ended up in the right-wing position and then slid a ball down the side of Miles Lewis-Skelly, who then played a ball across to Luis Diaz, and it's a simple tap-in. He must take his eye off it. He must be worrying about Saliba and the contact that might come, but that was a big opportunity for Diaz. Again, John, I go back to that not being a natural finisher in front of goal.
Jota on the bench for this one as Liverpool win a goal kick at the other end. Nevertheless, 2-0 for Liverpool. It has finished 42-14, so Exeter 42, Northampton 14 in the Premiership, and back to Wembley for the latest on the FA Trophy final from Sohail Sahi.
First half, it's Aldershot 0, Spennymoor 0, and both sides have had chances. Josh Barrett for Aldershot, curling effort palmed away by the Spennymoor goalkeeper, and then Rob Ramshaw was played in 6 yards away. The goal was at his mercy. Should have done better. It was a weak effort. Aldershot 0, Spennymoor Town 0.
And what's happening in the League Two playoff semi-final? Sani Radravajala.
West Chesterfield 0, Walsall 2. Keeper Tommy Simkin is parrying. He's had defenders blocking. Chesterfield just hit the bar as well to keep Walsall ahead. Chesterfield are pushing, but time is ticking. 19 to go. Chesterfield 0, Walsall 2.
Yeah, Wycombe Charlton later. 6:30 kick-off for that one. We'll keep you across it as Arsenal crossing from the left-hand side, but Saka couldn't get there. It was headed out, and Liverpool have got it with Gakpo and then Robertson away to the halfway line.
John, I don't know whether you saw the TV screens. They replayed the goal from Cody Gakpo, and as the ball was cleared, Arne Slot turned round to say something to his bench and actually missed the goal. He didn't even see it, and then everyone was celebrating. He was like, oh right, great, brilliant. Didn't have a clue.
Yeah, 80 seconds between the two Liverpool goals from Gakpo and Diaz, and incidentally that was Robertson's first Premier League assist this season.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, we're so used to him bombing down that left-hand side, and Trent Alexander-Arnold down the right. Has been a little bit of a different role for him this year. Andrew Robertson has been a little bit more reserved in his runs going forward, and probably slotted into a back three alongside Van Dijk and Konate.
And there's a little bit of talk, isn't there, about what his future might hold. He has Saka on the right-hand side. Saka playing it slightly behind Odegaard, then out to Trossard on the right flank. Odegaard again, infield to Partey. Arsenal 2-0 down, trying to get a foothold, really. Trossard is scampering from side to side. Remember him scoring a hat-trick for Brighton here in the 3-3 draw. He gets it again, then attempts to play it through. Liverpool are back in numbers. That's blocked out to the left-hand side. Comes back infield to Partey. A flick from Odegaard. Trossard in the box again, trying to pass it out towards the left-hand side. Marino is there, and then Marino, as Liverpool are taking it away, commits the foul, and actually it's a yellow card for the challenge on Bradley, and a free kick to Liverpool, and that is the first yellow of the match, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit cynical from Marino, wasn't it, on Conor Bradley. He just knew that if Conor Bradley got beyond him, he was in trouble. And it was a siding tackle from Marino. I'm not so sure he really needed to make it. Conor Bradley was struggling. The ball wasn't really under control.
So Liverpool back in possession. Incidentally, in La Liga in Spain, thrilling match unfolding between Barcelona and Real Madrid, where Real Madrid were 2-0 up. Barcelona then led 4-2, and it's now 4-3 Barcelona as Gakpo is upended by Partey. That's a free kick to Liverpool, and the Liverpool fans behind us here, high up in the stand, are asking why Partey's not been yellow carded for that. And they're in the 84th minute with Barcelona leading by 4-3, and that's an Mbappe hat-trick as well, the latest goal for Real Madrid. Ball played into the edge of the penalty area, but cleared away by Kivior for Arsenal. As Mo Salah is trying to put Lewis Skelly under pressure. Lewis Skelly's gone down. Well, I think he's fortunate to get the free kick for that. He rather threw himself down, but he has got the free kick against Mo Salah.
He's brilliant, Miles Lewis-Skelly, isn't he? For such a young player, the awareness of what's around him, that ability to weave out of situations where he looks under a little bit of stress. I think he's an outstanding footballer. I can't wait to see how he progresses over the next couple of seasons.
Yes, he's an interesting one, isn't he? He's certainly got a bit about him. Arsenal have it on the left with Martinelli, and here is the teenager, Lewis-Skelly, who is certainly a contender for the young player of the season. I don't think there's too much doubt about that. As Partey drags the ball back into the area, but then Szoboszlai is there to clear it away. Yes, also Bayer Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen, after the news that he is leaving. They were beaten 4-1 at home by Borussia Dortmund. And another interesting one, Torino-Inter kicks off at 5 o'clock UK time, the Champions League finalists. Arsenal coming forward again, the ball deflects to Odegaard, left side of the box, works it across but behind Saka, and Liverpool are going to be able to clear it away. It's just got underway actually, Torino-Inter, it's 0-0. Lines will be open for 6:06 at half-time in this match. I wonder what Manchester United and Tottenham fans have got to say today. Here's Saka, middle of the half. Saka playing the ball out to Trossard, who allows it to run, just keeps it in play next to the corner flag. And then Trossard all the way back to Odegaard, more centrally. Odegaard then back to Partey, who is behind him. Yes, if you've not looked at your Premier League table recently, Trossard has got it on the right-hand side, then into Odegaard. Odegaard flicks it up into the body of Szoboszlai, but it bounces down and Luis Diaz will take it away. That is forced by Partey to retreat and is then fouled. And the Arsenal midfielder, that's the second little foul in a short space of time. And Thomas Partey actually runs towards referee Taylor, and the two of them have a little exchange together. Diaz has not got up yet, Stephen.
No, I don't think
it was worthy of a yellow card, either challenge.
No, I didn't think that the first one was a yellow card either. I think it's just the Liverpool fans are saying how many, but Thomas Partey was actually asking the question. I've won the ball, I've took some of the ball, but he also went through him as well. So, but he's stayed down. He's actually got a bloody nose, John. That's what the problem is. So I think that was the reason he stayed down.
So that'll be a little bit of a stoppage. Yes, if you look at your Premier League table now, after Manchester United 0, West Ham 2 and Tottenham 0, Crystal Palace 2, that means you've got the relegated bottom 3, then 4th bottom Tottenham, 5th bottom Manchester United. Tottenham and Manchester United just above the relegation line. Also Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester 2 in our earlier 5 live commentary match. Newcastle 2-0 winners against Chelsea, as we've been discussing. Rangers 4-0 winners against Aberdeen at lunchtime. And it is half-time now in the FA Trophy final. Sohail Sahi.
Aldershot 0, Spennymoor 0. John, tight affair. Looks like the first goal will be pivotal. Both sides with chances. Aaron Jones and Josh Sparrow for Aldershot, and Spennymoor's Rob Ramshaw, that's a fine name, with the best moment 6 yards away. Goal at his mercy, and his effort was straight at the Aldershot goalkeeper. Half-time, John. Aldershot 0, Spennymoor 0.
And let's make another visit while Diaz is still receiving treatment to the playoff in Chesterfield. Sani Rudravajula.
13 to go, still Chesterfield 0, Walsall 2. Chesterfield getting increasingly frustrated by Walsall's time wasting, let's call it. They brought on the mercurial Armando Dobrado. Can he make a difference and get the Spyrights back into this? 78 gone, Chesterfield 0, Walsall 2.
We'll have more at half-time on the rugby, and I can tell you in the county championship, Glamorgan have beaten Kent by 161 runs. So commentary on all of those matches. If you've not heard, you can listen to any county championship match. The commentary courtesy of BBC local radio stations, very often on Sports Extra as well, but always via the cricket pages of the BBC Sport website. If you navigate around, you'll find the live commentary on there. On this glorious day, what a day for cricket it would be today. See the badminton horse trials as well today. A massive crowd goes to the badminton horse trials. Be glorious there, I would imagine. Northwest 200 as well, a big event in the country this weekend. Coverage of those two, by the way, on BBC television. As Arsenal come forward, Marino playing it out towards the left-hand side. Martinelli's up against Bradley. 2-0 Liverpool lead, back to the edge of the area, but Luis Diaz, bloody nose or not, he's had that repaired, patched up, and there he was on the edge of the penalty area to win the ball back, and now he's trying to bring it forward from right back, but stands on the ball, and then it's deflected out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, his work rate's phenomenal, isn't it? Luis Diaz getting him back in position, making sure he helps his team out. Szoboszlai was in that centre-forward position as he came back onto the pitch, helped his team out, which could have been a promising attack for Arsenal.
Saka with it on the right-hand side, passes it, oh goodness me, didn't find White. Szoboszlai was able to step in. White though recovering, just got a little touch on that, so Szoboszlai waits and then hits a long pass for Salah, but overhits it, and Raya was out to the edge of the box to catch the ball in front of his face.
Yeah, I just wondered why he turned back, and you could probably hear it in the crowd. He got away from Saliba, then a little Cruyff turn. I think Liverpool fans just wanted him to continue on. It was a really poor pass from Bukayo Saka, caught his team out and put them back on the back foot.
Bright sunshine on probably, what, 2/3 of the pitch surface, and let me tell you, it was warm outside the ground earlier. As we said earlier on in the afternoon, I was told that it would hit 71 degrees here, which apparently is around about 21 degrees Celsius.
I went for a walk down the beach this morning, John, and it was absolutely scorching.
Here's Saka in the area, back to Odegaard, shoots, it's blocked away by Liverpool. Here's Trossard again on the edge of the box, and actually just been told maybe 26 degrees.
Imagine what it is pitchside, John.
It will be hot. Gravenberch to Diaz, the two goal scorers. Salah's not in on the act yet, but here he is now. Stabs the ball across. Jones arriving, but two Arsenal defenders were there, and between them, Jones couldn't get the shot in, and Arsenal were able to clear it away.
There's a real difference in between the two teams when they go forward. Liverpool are dynamic, they're quick, they're incisive, the way they try and pick passes. Arsenal are slow, lethargic, they try and break teams down, but if you get in a block, it's very difficult to break through. Liverpool are just classic counter-attack in this game. They're happy for Arsenal to have that possession.
And with this scoreline, remember, Newcastle would be just 1 point behind Arsenal. So Arsenal second, Newcastle third, and Arsenal's participation in the Champions League next season would still not be secure with 2 matches to play. And it is Arsenal-Newcastle next Saturday tea time, as Salah is impeded, he's blocked, he's held back, yellow card, comes out, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, as no fullback would want to be against Mo Salah, now finds himself on a yellow card.
Yeah, it's that classic Mohamed Salah movement where he twists the defender, goes to go inside, chops down with his left foot to go on the outside. Miles Lewis-Skelly just loses his bearings, and then an arm across the chest to slow Mohamed Salah down. Referee Anthony Taylor given no other option but to book the left back. And as you say, John, not a nice situation to be in now.
It's not. Salah just waiting off the pitch, just in the full-back position. Salah waits there. He's got Szoboszlai with him as well. It's going to be an in-swinger from Salah or an out-swinger from Szoboszlai. Salah, who raises his right arm, that's the signal. Liverpool players massed at the back post. It is Salah who plays it in and curls it right across the face of goal and beyond the far post. He wasn't going for goal there, was he?
No, I don't think he was. I think he just tried to drift it into Virgil van Dijk, who'd made a nice run to that back post area. Just got it wrong. Execution wasn't good enough.
Half-time approaches. 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. Gakpo and Diaz, Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will be taking your calls on 5 Live. So we'll tell you at half-time when the lines are open. Yes, Arsenal-Newcastle is one of our Premier League commentaries next weekend. It is the 5:30 Saturday kick-off, so 5 Live the place to listen to that. And then Southampton against Arsenal on the final Sunday afternoon. You and I will be here, of course, won't we?
We certainly will.
To watch Liverpool against Crystal Palace and to see that trophy presentation, when I think the expectation is Liverpool have just got to be careful here that they are, and in fact Konate's won a free kick. I think the expectation is that that will be quite the afternoon here at Anfield.
Well, I think you've heard it here today, haven't you, John? The atmosphere is impressive. I think the Liverpool fans are enjoying the occasion, and more so than ever, especially against Crystal Palace at home, where they know the trophy is going to be presented to the team. I think the atmosphere is going to be phenomenal. I think the crowds outside the ground are going to be incredible as well. And I think obviously with the parade the following day, there's going to be a lot of people from out of town coming to the city to enjoy the occasion.
Inter have got an early goal in that match at Torino, and so that would put a little bit of pressure on Napoli. In fact, they would, with that win, they would go level on points with Napoli, who play tonight. Antonio Conte's Napoli. Salah taking the ball down on the edge of the area against Lewis Skelly, then works it infield. Bradley is there, Bradley onto his right foot, and then the offside flag comes up. It's a free kick to Arsenal inside their own box. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the season. And now, Stephen, Barcelona have got a 5th goal against Real Madrid.
Wow.
5-3. Ferran Lopez with the 5th goal.
Incredible, isn't it? I mean, if they could defend, they would be incredible. I mean, they just leave themselves too open, don't they, at the back? I mean, we saw that performance against Inter Milan when Inter Milan went 2-0 up in the first leg, and you're thinking, well, this is going to be very difficult. I mean, I don't know, we probably shouldn't talk about him because he's not in this league, but Yamal, oh my word.
Well, I think we're allowed to talk about him, aren't we? As the ball's played forward, but Marino, I think he couldn't get to the ball. Bradley defended it well. He got a shove in the back anyway, but it's a goal kick, and there's applause from Canate. Allison comes across as well to the young Northern Ireland international, claps his hands. Van Dijk goes across there as well. It's all messaging that as well, isn't it, to the Anfield crowd? You know, the signage is that this is the future. Bradley.
Absolutely, and I think the other thing as well, from a point of view of Martinelli going up against Conor Bradley, it's almost a sign of he's not beaten you yet. You find it, he's finding it really difficult to get beyond you. He's a really good defender in 1v1 situations. Yes, he will get beaten at times, but he's young. He's trying to learn his trade. What a trade he's trying to learn today against Arsenal, against Martinelli, who's got blister and pace. But I think that's one of Conor Bradley's biggest assets, is his pace.
But absolutely, the thing he needs to do is make sure he stays fit, which he's just picked up injuries at the wrong time, hasn't he, as the ball's played over the top for Martinelli. Arsenal looking for a goal before half-time. In added time, Martinelli still going, and then the cross straight into the path of Van Dijk, who can calmly side-footed away out for a throw on the left.
Well, he apologises to Canate because he was the deeper player. He didn't step up when Canate stepped up, and it just allowed Martinelli to drift in behind, and Van Dijk knew it, made sure he got back into position quickly. And here's that quick throw in from Liverpool, and the through again.
That was careless from Arsenal, and Liverpool could take advantage. Diaz to Salah, groans as he plays it back to Gravenberch in the box. Challenge from Partey, half a shout from the crowd, no more than that. Still Salah, quick feet from him against Saliba, still going to the byline, and it's the French defender who is able to block it behind, and it's a corner to Liverpool.
I can't believe how many times Arsenal have been caught out switching off at corners, throw-ins, free kicks. Liverpool just so aware of what's going on around them, and so aware that Arsenal are slow to react, and nearly punished again.
That Torres goal was disallowed, actually. It was ruled out for handball, but it has finished Barcelona 4, Real Madrid 3. So what does that do at the top of the table? That's a very clear lead, isn't it, for Barcelona now? They have a 7-point lead at the top of La Liga over Real Madrid. Corner for Liverpool in added time. Outswinger towards the penalty spot, which is headed up by Canate. He got right underneath that. The ball drops over the Arsenal goal and behind, and there is the whistle from Anthony Taylor. And frankly, Arsenal coming back from Paris from that experience, Liverpool have taken advantage of that. Scored 2 goals in 80 seconds in the middle of the half, Gakpo and Diaz, and while Arsenal had their chances, weren't able to convert them. Got a feeling I might have said that before sometime this week. And Liverpool lead 2-0 at half-time. Yeah,
it could have been so different for Arsenal had they been clinical in front of goal. Big opportunity for Saka, Trossard and Partey with another opportunity that they made a right mess of. But Liverpool clinical in the final third. Brilliant going forward in the counter-attack. Arsenal probably will dominate the possession stats, but Arne Slot won't care because he knows that just leaves Arsenal a little bit vulnerable at the back and susceptible to counter-attacks, and Liverpool being outstanding.
Yes, a reminder, an old fact, that it's now 151 home league matches when Liverpool have been leading at half-time that they have not lost, although the last team to actually do that was Arsenal back in 2009. If Arsenal come back and win this one, then that will be spectacular. At half-time, it is Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0.
I thought you were going to say, I'll eat my hat, and then you stopped short.
Yes, I did.
You did. Sensible. Sensible.
Yes.
Always sensible,
yes,
John.
I think so, yeah.
Right. Full times in the Premier League, by the way. Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, West Ham 2, Forest 2, Leicester 2, Spurs 0, Crystal Palace 2. Reaction on the way. We will hear from Nuno Espirito Santo, Ruben Amorim, Eddie Howe, Emma Raducanu and Robbie Savage will join us live, all before second half commentary at Anfield. Let's get the news first with Dan Maudsley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Scotland's First Minister John Swinney has accused the UK government of running scared from Reform UK on immigration. The Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, will set out plans tomorrow to end recruitment of care workers from overseas and cut the number of visas for lower skilled staff by up to 50,000 in the next year. The Conservatives say that isn't enough, but Mr Swinney told BBC Scotland that the SNP had a positive argument.
It's all been presented on the terms of Nigel Farage, and the Labour Party is just walking right into that. Some of the greatest inventions and innovations in our economy have come from international students that have come to Scotland, studied, stayed on, started a business and contributed to economic growth. Now it looks to me, from what I've heard from Yvette Cooper this morning, that door's going to get shut. Now that is absolute folly.
President Zelensky has insisted that Russia must agree to a ceasefire before any talks on ending the conflict in the east of Ukraine. Vladimir Putin has proposed direct negotiations in Turkey on Thursday, but didn't respond to calls by European leaders for a 30-day truce to be implemented. Devon and Cornwall police say a man's been charged with 5 counts of rape and sexual assault against 2 girls aged 16 and 17 close to a railway station in Exeter on Friday. 19-year-old Sonny Boys will appear before magistrates tomorrow. And the US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has described talks in Geneva with China aimed at averting an all-out trade war between the world's 2 largest economies as productive and constructive. Mr Bessent gave no details of what had been agreed, but said there would be further information tomorrow.
Welcome to today's quiz. Here's the question.
We're asking, what do you want the future of the BBC to look like?
And the good news is, there's no wrong answer.
We want to know what you think because the BBC belongs to all of us. To have your say, look out for an email or visit bbc.co.uk/rbbc, our future.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Right, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0, half-time at Anfield, second half commentary on the way. Already today, Nottingham Forest secured European football with a 2-2 draw against Leicester City, but their Champions League hopes do take a bit of a hit. They're now 2 places below Manchester City in 5th, just 1 point, but only 2 games to go. Owner Evangelos Marinakis came onto the pitch at full-time, looked like he was having a pop at the head coach, Nuno Espirito Santo. Here is the Forest manager.
I honestly believe that the game was there for us. We had control, we were dominant, and now frustrated because it's not longer in our hands to proceed and to continue this fight. And this is what hurts us the most. So anything positive that comes from this game, I think the reflection will be tomorrow. Now we are too much in a bad place.
It's been widely spotted that the owner, Angelos Marinakis, had a word. He looked annoyed. What did he say to you? Can you shed some light on that?
Look, it all comes for the situation that unfortunately in the last 10 minutes we had 1 man less, with situation of team not able to give us a hand to the team, to help the team because we were too much in pain. And that circumstance came from a bad communication between departments, our coaching staff and medical department. They had the info of one thing, it proceeds, we make the sub. Unfortunately then hit another stoppage time. And after that I think 30,000 people that were in the stadium were really, really upset, rightly so.
Nuno Espirito Santo. Remember, Marinakis is supposed to be less involved at Nottingham Forest at the minute for a variety of reasons, but there you go. Manchester United are 16th in the Premier League, lost 2-0 to West Ham at Old Trafford this afternoon. They've actually equalled their previous worst Premier League run, 7 games without a win, back when the Premier League started in 1992. Here is Ruben Amorim.
I think it's quite similar some games that we had, especially in the end of this season. We had more chances. We suffered 2 goals that we can avoid, and we had lack of urgency in our box, in the other opponent box. We had lack of pace. We had lack of urgency. We had lack of that feeling that is the end of the world losing a game at home in this club. So that is the biggest concern that I have in this moment, is that feeling that is okay to lose.
When Lenny Yoro left the field, he looked upset, you looked upset. What can you tell us at this stage?
I think we are going to assess Lenny Yoro. It could be a small issue, and when I say small issue, I'm not thinking about the final, none of that. I'm just thinking about he has the same pain that he had in the same problem in the pre-season before. We will assess that, but they say that could be a small thing.
That's Ruben Amorim. There's been a goal at Wembley, the FA Trophy final, Aldershot and Spennymoor. Sohail Sahi.
It's gone the way of Aldershot, the National League club. They lead Spennymoor by 1-0. The goal coming 3 minutes into the second half. A raid down the right-hand side. The ball was flighted into the penalty area. Seemed to be a clash between Jack Barnum and one of the Spennymoor defenders. And Jack Barnum got the lucky touch and it rolled past the Spennymoor goalkeeper, Brad James. Aldershot 1, Spennymoor Town 0.
Lines are open for 606 08085 909 693. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Good afternoon, Rob.
Afternoon, Steve. Nice to see you in the studio
person.
for once. Yeah,
Lovely.
Nice to be in the studio for once.
And as soon as you walked in, Aldershot scored in the final of the FA Trophy. You'll have an eye on that. Spennymoor next season.
Spennymoor next season, yeah. Whitstable won the FA Vars 2-1 after extra time, so I'm sure their fans will call it as well, Steve.
Great competitions, FA Vars, FA Trophy. Premier League, what you got your eye on?
Well, I wonder if Chris Sutton, who was at the game today, Nottingham Forest, was one of those fans booing at the final whistle, his Forest, and if this was any other team, if this was another team, would Chris say, have Forest bottled it for those Champions League playoffs in 7th position now, Steve? Nottingham Forest.
What do you think about the owner going on?
Listen, I don't know what was said. I heard about. I was listening to 5 Live, the substitution. They used all their subs. So again, listen, as a director of football,
I was wondering that. Did you do that before?
Did I do that? I went in the change rooms now and then, but I don't think I ever went on the pitch to, ask what happened in that situation. I don't think that should happen. But listen, I don't know what went on. And what about? Great win for Newcastle, obviously, and the sending off for Chelsea. 16th, 17th, a Europa League final.
Remarkable.
Spurs against Manchester United. It's quite incredible, isn't it? Quite incredible. What a game. What a game. Momentum you need at this stage. Neither team has momentum. So
both of them might not get to 40 points.
But, the question I'd ask you, if Spurs or Man United win the Europa League and get Champions League football, have they had a better season than Arsenal?
No. I'd say no.
So in a few years' time, 10 years' time, and they look back at this season, if Spurs or United won the Europa League and finished 15th, 16th and Arsenal were trophyless, what's the history book say?
I think none of those teams would want to look back on this season in 10 years' time. I don't think any of those teams will want to look back on the season in 10 minutes' time.
It's been a terrible season in the Premier League, but if you win the Europa League, because Chris always says, Chris won the Premier League, do you not know? He never mentions it. So again, listen, I can't wait for that final 21st of May, but listen, 08085 909 693, and there was nothing else, was there?
No, sounds good to me.
Sure.
Well, it's up to you, isn't it? Yeah. El Clasico was good.
4-3
yeah,
finished
4-3.
Wow,
yeah.
what a game. Right, thank you, Stephen.
Nice one. Cheers, Robbie. All right, that's Robbie Savage with Chris Sutton. 606 08085 909 693. League One playoff semi-final. Wycombe versus Charlton gets underway at 6:30. League Two playoff semi-final. All of these first legs, Chesterfield and Walsall. Sani Rudravajula.
Chesterfield 0, Walsall 2. Walsall finally playing with confidence after their league collapse. A rash Liam Mandeville challenge gave them a penalty on 29, dispatched by Taylor Allen, the defender's 8th this season. And then a career first for Birmingham Loney, Alfie Chang, first time from the edge. But Walsall had Stoke Loney, Tommy Simkin to thank with a string of strong saves. The Spy Rate's still in it, but we'll have a climb for the second legs. Chesterfield 0, Walsall 2.
Let's get a bit more on Wycombe Charlton in that League One playoff semi-final first leg. Wycombe going having lost their last 3, their longest losing run of the season. Charlton ended the season with 3 defeats from their final 22 league games. Aaron Paul will be there.
Yeah, afternoon everybody. Welcome along to Adams Park, where we have yet another playoff semi-final laced with narrative. Both of these two come into this one, as you say, Steve, in contrasting form, with the belief of the home faithful beginning to waver after their capitulation in the regular season. Wycombe were the nearest challengers to Birmingham City, but finished the campaign 5th. You could use any word to describe Charlton: momentum, togetherness, belief. They've got it all in abundance. However, Nathan Jones has hit the reset button and said that form goes very much out of the window on occasions such as these, and with the drama that we've seen over the past few days, there's bound to be another twist along the way somewhere. Kick-off an hour or so away. The team news has just dropped. Richard Kone starts in attack for Wycombe Wanderers. Absolutely huge. Whilst Matty Godden, Charlton's leading goal scorer, will begin the afternoon spearheading their front line. We kick off at 6:30.
We have got the lineups for the Challenge Cup finals. The Women's Challenge Cup final, the second semi was today. St Helens 10, York Valkyrie 6. So they will play Wigan in the final. Warrington beat Lee 15-8 in the men's semi-final, or it is 15-8 I should say, in the men's semi-final. Hull KR are going to play them in the final. Emma Raducanu and Jack Draper both into the last 16 of the Italian Open tennis. Raducanu will face Coco Gauff tomorrow. She says she's relishing the opportunity to face the Australian Open champion.
I think it's exciting. I think it's a great match. We both kind of come up through the same generation, and it's going to be a match where I can test myself, and I know I have to execute well into both corners, and I think I'm playing good tennis though, so I feel good. But at the end of the day, you know, she's whatever top 5 in the world, and yeah, I'm out here at 50, so grinding. But no, I back the work I've been doing, and all I want to do is just try and be the best version of myself and give myself the best opportunity.
And did you see much of her as juniors? She's 18 months younger than you, but her trajectory was so rapid, wasn't it, with the breakthrough at 15? Did you play much, or did you see much of her in the junior circuit?
I just remember, like, when we were really young, I was 11, she was probably like 10, and we played like a practice set, and it was like really good quality. And then after that, she went like way faster than I did, because I was, you know, at secondary school, and I was watching her like win her first WTA title, I think, when she was like 15. And I remember just like sat before COVID, like sitting exams, and I was like, oh, I wish I could play as well. So I think she's had a lot more time on court than me. She's a great fighter, great opponent. But yeah, it's good that we can kind of be in the same tournaments now, and that I'm in, you know, the second week of these Masters. I'm really happy and proud of myself.
That's Emma Raducanu. 53 minutes gone, by the way, in that semi-final in the Challenge Cup. Warrington 15, Lee 8. You can listen to that right now on 5 Sports Extra. One other result to bring you in the Gallagher Premiership finished Exeter 42, Northampton Saints 14. You are bang up to date. And as I look up, the teams are on their way back out at Anfield. John Murray.
Yes, they are. Thank you, Steve. Welcome everyone back to Anfield on this gloriously sunny, warm Sunday afternoon. Liverpool players out, just heading out in all directions. The Arsenal players in their blacky grey shirts with the white numbers on the back, just going into a huddle. By the way, just want to correct one thing that I said in the first half, that the Arsenal-Newcastle match next weekend is the Sunday 4:30 kickoff, so it'll be this time next week. It's getting confused because, of course, it's the FA Cup final next Saturday. So you hear that on 5 Live on the Saturday, and then Premier League commentaries on the Sunday, which is not ideal to have the FA Cup final not as the last match of the domestic season, but that perhaps is one for 6 or 6 later.
Will you be doing both games, Sean?
I am.
So it's a bit of travelling for you.
Well, Wembley to Arsenal.
Oh, to Arsenal, isn't it? Sorry, I was thinking Newcastle then, yeah.
So
the way round.
across the capital, which can be
tricky, John.
Can be tricky. Right, we're ready for the start of the second half. There's the whistle from Anthony Taylor. It's Liverpool who kick off, attacking the Kop end in the second half, leading by 2-0. Gakpo and Diaz scoring within 80 seconds of one another. And Liverpool have been the better side, and Arsenal, without Declan Rice, who has got an injury of some variety, not been able to train this week, look as though, while they've had chances, they do look as though they've been affected by the efforts of midweek in Paris as Raya clears to the halfway line. Liverpool back to near full strength. Alisson in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch, Jones and Szoboszlai, Salah, Diaz and Gakpo. Trent Alexander-Arnold is on the substitutes bench, as Arne Slot said he would be. Here is Lewis Skelly bringing it forward for Arsenal. A strong run from centre field. Trossard then beats Bradley, then pulls it back, and the shot from Merino is blocked. There were lots of bodies back in there, and the chance for Arsenal has gone. But that was a big win for Trossard against Bradley.
Yeah, brilliant from Miles Lewis-Skelly. Lovely ball into Trossard, and Bradley just tries to read the situation, doesn't quite get it. That was a good opportunity for Arsenal. A lively start to the second half.
Yep, groans there because Gravenberch couldn't find a forward pass. Arsenal, Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Kivior and Lewis Skelly, Partey, Odegaard and Merino in midfield. Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left and Trossard. Arsenal coming forward. Martinelli in the middle with a header, and it's in! The cross from the left-hand side from Trossard, and Martinelli, 8 yards out, twisting his neck, sending the ball beyond Alisson, down into the bottom corner, and Arsenal score in the 2nd minute of the second half and are back in the match. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, really positive start to the second half for Arsenal, and there's been a few groans around the crowd from the Liverpool fans because they know their team haven't quite started the way that they should have. They know this Arsenal team can be dangerous. It's good play from Trossard, but it just evades Konate, who takes his eye off the ball. He's caught flat-footed, and Martinelli with a flick header finds the far corner past his Brazilian teammate. Brilliant header from Martinelli, and now we perhaps might have a little bit of a game on our hands because it's been sloppy from Liverpool at the start of the second half.
Martinelli has got a good record against Liverpool. That is 6 goals now against Liverpool in 12 appearances for them, and Arsenal are back in it. Were Arsenal to turn this around, and it would be unlikely, it has to be said, on the balance of the match so far, then that would confirm Arsenal's qualification for the Champions League next season. And at 2-1, remember they drew 2-2 at the Emirates early in the season when Liverpool twice came from behind. Well, here is Lewis Skelly, just inside his own half. Lewis Skelly just looks up, finds Trossard on the left-hand side. Trossard, who created that goal. Lovely ball in. Martinelli in the centre-forward's position there, scoring the goal. And it's back to White and Saliba. Saliba to Lewis Skelly. Kivior's come right out here to the left-hand side, and Lewis Skelly directing operations, the 19-year-old, in front of his penalty area. The 18-year-old Lewis Skelly telling Saliba what to do with it, which he does. Then he gets it back. The French central defender, Partey, in the centre circle. This is good from Arsenal, taking confidence from that goal back. And here is Trossard, who gets away from Diaz, takes the ball down the right-hand side, still going to the corner of the box. Then the ball from White, deep cross to the back post. And I think, did Martinelli get his head to that? Well, it is kept in play anyway by Salah, who plays it to Bradley. And then Bradley turns and will pass it back to Alisson, who will put his right foot through that, down on the right-hand side of his penalty area, in front of where those Arsenal supporters are. I'm sure many of them were in Paris this week, and now are here at Anfield, in the shadow, actually, in the lower tier of the Anfield Road end. Half of the stand there in sunshine, the other half in shadows. And the ball with Odegaard inside his own half. Partey just shuffles forward with the ball, and then turns and gives it back to Saliba to his right. Saliba curls the ball out to the right-hand side. Sees Ben White there. White's able to get his head down, played into Saka. Saka had big chance early on in the match, wasn't able to convert. Did score in the Parc des Princes in midweek, but that big chance that he missed could have made things differently. Saka into the penalty area, but his shot is blocked. And then Diaz flicks it forward and might well have been impeded there by Saliba. Referee Taylor says not. Back to his feet, Saliba gives it to Saka. Saka up against Robertson, Gakpo as well. Overlap from White. I don't think he's got there in time to keep it in play, although there's no flag on the far side. Didn't look as though it was out to me. But Liverpool cleared it, but only back to Arsenal, who are putting good pressure on here early in the second half. 5 Live and the World Service as well are with us here at Anfield, watching Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Lewis Skelly, then Partey. Another chorus of champions breaks out. Odegaard back to Saka. Saka comes infield and then continues to take it on. Jones and Robertson. Saka goes down, gets to his feet though, beats Robertson, still going Saka, then tees up Trossard. Trossard turns and shoots, but sends the ball over the top of the bar. And Liverpool's players are looking at one another and saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, really good passenger play from Arsenal, making sure that they retain the ball, but also are a threat with the ball. Just a little bit quicker in the way that they're moving it, but now they're trying to isolate Saka in a 1v1 situation, which they weren't able to do too much in the first half. Also, one of the other things that they've done is there's a little bit of rotation on the left-hand side. Martinelli's drifting into the centre-forward position, Trossard's coming out onto the wing, and it's just causing a little bit of an issue to both Konate and Conor Bradley as to who picks up who.
Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Do you think we are likely to see Trent Alexander-Arnold today, or will he keep that till the last match of the season?
I think the last match, because he hasn't even come out to warm up so far, John.
This ball's played across, or indeed Brighton on the Monday night, as it's played forward for Salah to chase, a long pass. Salah has not got a Liverpool teammate within 40 yards. Now brings it infield, there is support now coming, but Salah overhits the ball through for the run of Diaz, and Raya's able to slide to his left, say thank you very much, pick it up and underarm it out for Trossard to have a foray forward. Szoboszlai does his work there though, but then Partey sends the pass looking for Saka, but that's headed down and away, and Liverpool will come forward with Curtis Jones. Robertson offers himself, Robertson still bringing it forward, he's got Gakpo, Robertson's going to have a go, which he does, but hits it wide and high by probably 3 yards, if not more of that, and into the cup. Goal kick.
It was interesting, the opportunity that Mohamed Salah had. I'm thinking Miles Lewis-Skelly's on a yellow card, back him up into the penalty area, make him make a decision, make life difficult for him. He ran the ball across the edge of the box and almost made it so easy for Miles Lewis-Skelly that all he had to do was jockey the position. You back a player into the penalty box, now you're in trouble. But poor play from Mohamed Salah, and then Andrew Robertson, just a little bit of a rush of blood to the head as the Arsenal defence stepped off.
Well, having created a goal already today, probably thought might be my day, but wrong decision. Lines are open for 606, the UK's most popular football phone in. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton waiting to take your calls on 08 085 909 693. Text 85058, hashtag BBC 606. Liverpool coming forward, Robertson's cross from the left, but too close to Raya, who dived forward from his 6-yard box and was able to catch it and give it out to Bukayo Saka. And Saka, who's another one actually with a very good goal scoring record against Liverpool, 4 goals in his last 5 Premier League appearances against Liverpool, but none of them here at Anfield. Here is Saka, should have scored in the first couple of minutes though, as Ben White is able to take it from Saka. Ben White still going, shoots low, and Alisson had to make a stop down at his near post, just dropped down, parried it, and then gathered it at the second attempt.
He did have to make it, John, because if he doesn't, it's a simple tap in for Martinelli. Martinelli had got on the wrong side of Konate, positive from Ben White, and it's been a completely different mentality from Arsenal in the second half.
Alisson with the ball inside the penalty area, just plays it to his left to Van Dijk. Another result in from the county championship. Nottinghamshire have beaten Hampshire by 366 runs. There'll be commentary on Sports Extra from the championship later, after the Challenge Cup semi-final is finished. I'll give you a later score in a moment, but Saka just taking up possession, but that's a heavy touch from him, and Liverpool have got it back. Warrington 15, Lee 8 is the latest score in the semi-final, and there is commentary on Sports Extra right now on your digital radio or via BBC Sounds. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Liverpool with Gravenberch just turning the ball back to Robertson, and then Szoboszlai just has the feel Liverpool here, having conceded that goal, Arsenal having had a good spell, Liverpool just trying to impose themselves. Might do more than that. This ball's given to Gakpo. Gakpo into the area, tries to cut back, but Ben White just got a heel on that to block it away. Still Liverpool in possession with Curtis Jones. Jones and to Gakpo now more centrally as the shot flies in from Szoboszlai. That must have been best part of 30 yards, but Raya had a good sight of it and was able to pat it down to his right.
Yeah, he strikes a beautiful ball, doesn't he, Szoboszlai? Ball shifting from left to right, and David Raya, he does well just to parry it down in front of him. Luckily for him, there was no on-rushing players.
Yes, he hit that. It was quite a juggle actually. Patted it down, bounced up, but he was able to grab it at the second attempt. I would maintain, not the hardest hit shot that I've seen this week. Martin Odegaard's shot that was saved by Donnarumma.
Oh yeah,
it was incredible, amazing save. Seen some saves this week, haven't we, from various goalkeepers. Liverpool leading Arsenal by 2-1. Marino's attempted curl pass forward, easily intercepted by Bradley. Just got his body in the way of that. Comes back to the Liverpool number 84. Just his 12th start of the season with the various injuries that he's had, and obviously Alexander-Arnold in the main has been first choice. Conor Bradley. But it may well be that he starts now through until the end of the season. We'll see. Here is Konate. Konate turning and playing the ball back. Szoboszlai. Partey almost got a foot in on that. He was fortunate that it bounced back to Alisson, who was able to pick it up this time and overarm it out. And now Jones carries the ball out there into the warm sunshine. Jones pass there easily intercepted by White. Groans. He's looking to slip it forward for Gakpo to make the run round the outside, but White had his number. And Arsenal have it back again. Substitutes coming out. Trent Alexander-Arnold at the front of them, Stephen.
Yeah, he's getting a nice warm reception from the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, applause down there. You can see them all here as we look down on them. That is the vast majority. I mean, all of the substitutes are there together, but it was Alexander-Arnold at the front of the line significantly. Liverpool again out of possession. Still got over half an hour of this match to play. Here is Trossard. Trossard hugging the left wing. Mikel Arteta comes forward, makes a point. Lewis Skelly. Now Kivior in the absence of the injured Gabriel. This long run that he's had now in the team. This is his 10th start in a row for the Polish international. Saka. Ben White plays the ball past Robertson, tries to go around the other side. Robertson tackles back, went to ground. White with a chance to cross. That's blocked by Robertson. And Robertson hit the ball actually into Gravenberch, who was able to adjust. And then Liverpool do lose it though. And you can hear the reaction from the Liverpool supporters. There's a little bit of uneasiness here. 2-0 up and coasting at half-time. Now 2-1 and far from that.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit uncomfortable for Liverpool, doesn't it? Arsenal dominating possession, as they did in the first half, but looking like they've got a little bit more intent when they go forward.
White crosses it, but it goes all the way across to the left-hand side to Trossard. And now Lewis Skelly. Kivior back across into the centre circle. Saliba now over there to the right-hand side. Ben White back in possession. Arsenal dominating the football in this early period of the second half. Marino goes around Luis Diaz, then drags it back. Has a look to his left, has a look to his right, then goes back to his left again. Now the ball finds its way to Trossard on the left-hand side. Martinelli, the scorer of the Arsenal goal. He's now hit double figures this season, Martinelli, in all competitions. Lewis Skelly is barged and blocked by Bradley, and that's a free kick to Arsenal in the Liverpool right-back area, and a yellow card for Bradley as well for that.
Yeah, well played, Miles Lewis Skelly. A lovely little nutmeg on Conor Bradley. Bradley's rash in the way that he goes towards the challenge. He thinks that Miles Lewis Skelly's going to cross it, and he goes to the block, and he just accelerates beyond Conor Bradley, draws the foul. And that is where Conor Bradley does need to improve at times, just that rashness to want to get to the ball too quick. Again, John, the director, goes to you-know-who.
That's why I chuckled there. As I was looking at you, I then saw the screen down there change, and there's Trent Alexander-Arnold's face front and centre again as he warms up off the field. So we've got this Arsenal free kick on the left-hand side. I have to say it would be a major surprise if Arsenal come from 2-0 down to make this 2-2, but that is a distinct possibility with a set piece. And remember, they've scored 38 goals from set pieces this season and last season in the Premier League. Driven in by Trossard, hit low, and then the shot by Martinelli through a crowd of players. But Alisson got a good sight on it through all of the legs and was able to drop on it and save it to his left.
Yeah, it was a poor free kick, wasn't it, from Trossard? He drilled it low, but it just ricochets about and falls to Martinelli. I'm just looking down in front and I'm looking, is it Calafiori who's going to come on? And I'm wondering why. Miles Lewis-Skelly's playing well, but he's just been stood up for a long time chatting. Yeah, but I think he's just dominating the ball in midfield. He has now sat down, but he was having a long chat with Mikel Arteta. I understand the yellow card, but I think the influence he's had on the game in the second half. Also as well, you've got to mature in the game, and you've got to understand you can't drag him off at every opportunity.
Long one forward for Liverpool, but that's well dealt with by Saliba. So it's 2-1 here at Anfield, 2-1 to Liverpool. What is happening at Wembley in the FA Trophy final? Sohail Sahi.
Aldershot have scored a second, John. It's Aldershot 2, Spennymoor 0. We've got 18 minutes to play. It was a corner kick and a good old-fashioned centre-half's header from Dan Ellison at the near post. He just flicked it to the far post. Aldershot leads Spennymoor now with 18 minutes to play by 2-0.
Arsenal on the attack again, cross from the right-hand side. Bradley came across and took charge of that, headed it away. Liverpool haven't got it away though. Szoboszlai loses it. Saka with a shot from just outside the D, but mishit it really. It came at him quickly. Alisson was able to pick that up quite comfortably and then delivers it away downfield where it is one-on-one. Salah and Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly cleverly goes to goal. There was contact from Salah. Free kick given against Mo Salah inside Anfield. I think some people think that's not allowed, but it has been given.
Outstanding defending from Miles Lewis-Skelly. Salah's so clever at getting his body in between the man and the ball, trying to protect it, and Miles Lewis-Skelly just read the little feint from Salah and then got himself in between the ball and the man. Really good defending from the youngster.
I've said it a couple of times now. I don't think I've said it with you. He's like a little John McGinn, isn't he?
Yeah,
Lewis Skelly. He uses he sort of bends his body into his opponent, doesn't he? And here he is again on the ball.
I don't think he's got a bigger backside as John McGinn, but yeah,
as I say, he's only 18.
Yeah.
I think generally people find that as they get older, that area gets bigger. So I've heard. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Here's Odegaard now, running from deep, still going, lovely ball, Martinelli! Oh, excellent challenge from Bradley, came across from right back just as Martinelli was looking to shoot outside the 6-yard box, collided, took ball, bounced behind, corner to Arsenal, and Martinelli felt that.
Yeah, Arsenal just picking up a little bit of steam again, and a lovely ball from Odegaard into the run of Martinelli, who's changed his position in the second half. He's had a big influence on this second half. Bradley runs with Martinelli every step of the way. He tracks him, he makes sure he tracks him, he wins the ball, but he also takes a little bit of Martinelli's ankle along the way. That's why Martinelli is still down, but it's a great challenge.
We are going to see Trent Alexander-Arnold come on, and similarly, of course, Bradley is on a yellow card, which could be a consideration. So McAllister, Nunez and Alexander-Arnold, so they will come on. So it is a triple substitution, but we will hear the reaction when Alexander-Arnold's name is announced and he runs onto the field. I suspect it will be overwhelming support. But let's see, we've got this Arsenal corner first of all. The score, if you've just switched on, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Was 2-0 at half-time, taken short. Saka gets it back. Saka chips it across, and at the back post, Saliba heads it.
They want handball, John. Arsenal want handball.
So there might have been a handball from the Liverpool defender. Saka is asking the question. Anthony Taylor speaks to him. Konate it is, who may well have raised his arm. It was worked across by Saka, and Konate underneath the crossbar at the back post. It deflected across, and then it's headed by Saliba onto, well, I thought that was off Konate's head.
Yeah, it was, it really was. But I think there was an incident at the front and there was a free kick given anyway. But really smart set piece from Arsenal. We know they are good at set pieces. They work extremely hard on those set pieces.
Well, Alexander-Arnold is going to be the third of the three to come on. So first of all, we see the number of Gakpo. Curtis Jones is coming off as well. And Alexander-Arnold is going to come on to replace Conor Bradley. The numbers have gone up there. Well, listen to this. Well, there are clearly boos there. Listen to this. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's not on the field yet. That was the reaction to his number coming up. He's about to come onto the field now. Claps hands. There's a hug from Jones. Nunez comes on first. Bradley, and now here's Alexander-Arnold. Well, I think you call that a mixed response.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more boos than there is cheers, if I'm being completely honest, John. However, that's in and around us, and I am surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised at that. A little bit disappointed, to be honest with you. However, Liverpool fans will feel like they're entitled to do that. They're entitled to feel that way.
And Arne Slot accepted that, didn't he, when he spoke about the possibility of it on Friday?
Yeah, I can hear the response as well from the Liverpool fans. One Conor Bradley.
As the ball is played forward by Salah, and then taken by Raya, who delivers that away downfield. I thought he might actually play it into Alexander-Arnold, but he was able to deliver it beyond him, and downfield for Martinelli, and Konate now plays it back towards the edge of the box. Well, there's very much a talking point for Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton on 606 on 5 Live at the end of this match.
Yeah, well, they're still singing his name. Conor Bradley tells you everything about the way that they feel about Trent Alexander-Arnold's decision to leave the football club.
Not yet confirmed, of course, that he'll be at Real Madrid, but I think that's only a matter of time before that's confirmed. And if it is Real Madrid, as we've said, I think it is, if Real Madrid come and want you, I think that's an exceptionally difficult offer to turn down, whoever you are. And I have to say, I feel that, and I know that some Liverpool fans take issue with Trent Alexander-Arnold, probably in their eyes, stringing this out and perhaps giving mixed messages about whether he'd stay or not. But it's got a touch, I think, of, you know, the mother not wanting the child to leave the apron strings.
Oh, absolutely. It's like getting rejected by your girlfriend, isn't it, or your boyfriend, and having that feeling of, well, how can you reject them and how can you turn your back on them? But no, it's quite disappointing that it's ended up this way. I think he's tried to do the right thing, what he felt was right by the football club, to concentrate on trying to win the league. But it's come back, and obviously the response from the Liverpool fans is very telling.
And this is very different to the reaction when he came on at Leicester in the away win there and scored the goal. But of course, at that stage, he had not actually announced that he was going to leave Liverpool, which he did earlier this week. But he was given overwhelming support back then. And indeed, those were memorable scenes for him when he scored that goal, which might turn out to be the last one that he scores for Liverpool. 2-1 it is today, though, as we head into the final quarter of this match. It's been a very interesting second half, with Arsenal coming out with the approach that they did. I think Mikel Arteta will be very proud of the way that his team has responded here after they were flat in the first half. Trossard first to the ball there against McAllister. And the champions now have to get on the back foot and defend this. Odegaard's ball through Martinelli. Alexander-Arnold just came across, and the pass was marginally overhit, so that Alisson was able to come out and pick it up.
There you go, John. Again, the boos. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. But then people trying to overcrowd that noise and making sure that they respond with the cheers and the clapping.
Well, that is quite the turn of events here. Saka playing it infield to Odegaard. Left foot shot. Oh, what a save! Bounces out and is headed in by Marino. And Arsenal have scored and made it 2-2. Great anticipation from Marino. A super save by Alisson onto the post, but it bounced right out into the path of Marino, who flung himself at it. And Arsenal have come from 2-0 down to make it 2-2.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what Alisson is asking the referee Anthony Taylor about. He's saying that perhaps someone's in an offside position as the ball is struck. I'm not so sure. It was a brilliant strike by Martin Odegaard. It caught Alisson unaware. I think he's asking the question whether Trossard's in his line of vision. It doesn't matter, Trossard's onside, so it'll make no difference whatsoever. But Alisson makes a brilliant save, but everyone else switches off. The one player who doesn't is Mikel Merino, who then gets himself the simple task of diving on the floor, getting a header and putting it into the empty net, much to the delight of the Arsenal fans behind that goal.
Well, there will be a delay here while the offside decision is looked at by VAR, so there will not be an instant restart, but there it is. Arsenal cheers in the corner that you can hear. The goal stands. It's 2-2, and Arsenal have come from 2-0 down, and all credit to them. 2-0 down, the heavy legs of Paris, but they've come out and they've dominated the second half. They've been much the better team, and it was Trent Alexander-Arnold, it would appear, who was playing him onside.
Yeah, I don't think it was Trent Alexander-Arnold's problem. I think it was Konate more so than anyone who switched off in that centre-forward position. Centre-back position, has to do more, has to be alive, that the shot might come in and it might ricochet down. But now we've got a game on our hands, 20 minutes or so to go. But Arsenal are definitely the better team.
2-2. Who'd have thought, Stephen? And quite the second half, with Arsenal scoring the 2 goals and Alexander-Arnold coming on and being booed by a significant section of the Liverpool supporters every time he's touched the ball so far. And then McAllister playing the ball back to Alisson, and Liverpool have to start again from inside their own penalty area. And remember, if Arsenal win this, they will be confirmed for Champions League football next season, as Gravenberch is fouled by Partey, who has been able to avoid a yellow card so far this afternoon, which is the point the Liverpool supporters are making now. But again, it was a little foul. Was it enough for a yellow card? Probably not.
I think it's just an accumulation of fouls, isn't it, that perhaps that totting up. That's what Liverpool fans are very angry about.
Long ball over the top for Liverpool, but Diaz won't chase that, and White can safely see it out. Still got best part of 20 minutes to play here, and Arsenal will fancy their chances.
Oh, absolutely they will. They'll feel that they're in the ascendancy. I was just about to make the point, John. How quiet's Luis Diaz been in the second half? Hugely influential in the first half, but not troubled Arsenal at all in the second half, and that's credit to the way that Arsenal have set themselves up.
Yes, as ball is played over the top for Robertson to tangle with Saka, who was trying to get past the Liverpool defender. Saka goes down, claims that he was being fouled. Referee Taylor's having none of that. Liverpool with it. Here is Alexander-Arnold again. Alexander-Arnold curling a pass. What a pass that was for Nunez, who got a touch to it but couldn't do anything other than send it through for a goal kick. That would have been one of the passes of the season if that had set up a goal.
Outrageous, just incredible execution. Yes, you can see a pass, but can you also execute it? So often he can. I just don't think that Darwin Nunez could have taken that on the run. You've almost got to hit that first time because of the way that the ball's moving towards the goalkeeper.
So again, if you've just switched onto us on 5 Live or the World Service, Liverpool 2-0 up through the 2 quick goals from Gakpo and Diaz in the first half, but Martinelli and Merino scoring for Arsenal in the second half. And that's another goal for Merino, even though he is playing in midfield in this one. McAllister very nearly given away by a combination of Van Dijk and McAllister. Arsenal couldn't squirrel it back, so they clear to the halfway line. Now Partey to Odegaard, and then Odegaard turns, slips it forward to Partey, and now Ben White with some space on the right hand side for Arsenal, stops the ball on his right foot, then plays it back to the corner of the box but misplaces the pass, and McAllister was able to step in, and Liverpool will break away now. McAllister carries the ball over the halfway line, then passes it to Diaz. Nunez is in the middle, the pass all the way over to Salah outside the D, and then his pass that was cut out by Partey on the edge of the box, and that Liverpool attack comes to absolutely nothing, and Arsenal have it again as the ball is won back by Liverpool. Gravenberch taking it on, but then slicing it well wide. When he got a sight of goal inside the penalty area, shooting well wide across goal and behind.
Yeah, he just pinched the pocket of Marino, didn't he? He was caught out, tried to play a ball back and just lost his footing, hurt himself in the process, and he's still down. And Gravenberch, he just backs Ben White into the penalty area, cuts across the ball, it nearly finds the top corner. It's always just fading away from the top corner. Big opportunity for Liverpool.
2-2 the score. We've seen some thrillers, haven't we, over the years between these sides. Never forget the 5-5 that we saw in the League Cup that went to penalties when Curtis Jones scored in the shootout. Trossard has sat down, so we're going to have a stoppage here for a moment or two. We're into the last 15 minutes now. So while Trossard is looked at, let's go back to Wembley again and Sohail Sahi.
And Aldershot have got a third and a winning goal here, John. It's Aldershot 3, Spennymoor 0. We've got 2 minutes to play. There was a flick on from Thomas, the centre forward. It fell nicely for Josh Barrett, just outside the penalty area, left-footed. It was looping and dipping past Brad James. Aldershot 3, Spennymoor 0.
In the Challenge Cup semi-final, Warrington 21, Lee 14 is the latest score. That is on Sports Extra right now, the commentary. And of course, 606 on 5 Live is waiting for your calls from any of the matches that you've been back. If you're travelling on the way home, Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton would love to hear from you. Only 3 more Sunday night 606s of the Premier League season, so don't miss your chance. All of the details you'll find on the football pages of the BBC Sport website, and at Match of the Day 2 tonight for the highlights. Russell Martin is on with Mark Chapman on Match of the Day tonight. Watch it any time on the iPlayer, and it'll all be rounded up for you in the Football Daily as well on BBC Sounds. If you search Football Daily on there. Going to make a change now. Both teams, I think, are going to make changes. Calafiori is going to come on. Has he already gone off? No, hang on. Lewis
Trossard's
Skelly's
coming
still
off.
out there, yeah.
Trossard's off, and Kieran Tierney's come on, John.
Tierney's come on for Trossard. So Kieran Tierney heading towards the end of his Arsenal career before he goes back to Celtic. And Liverpool going to bring on Jota for Luis Diaz.
Yeah, and then the other change as well, John, is Ben White is now coming off for Calafiori, so that'll be interesting to see how they set up. Almost looks like they're going to set up as a 3 at the back, unless Calafiori goes to that right back position. He is as well. Interesting.
So not using Jurriën Timber, who Mikel Arteta said before the match has not been able to train this week, and he was touch and go to play in the second leg in Paris during the week. So
why bring him?
Well,
that's
a good question.
What I never understand. What's the point in bringing him?
Yeah. So there we are. Changes made. Calafiori now at right back, and it is 2-2. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. And Arsenal get play going again. Marino, heavy touch from him. Might have been a foul. Oh, nasty challenge. Then the shot across the face of goal, but it's been brought back. And then a yellow card as well for that challenge on Szoboszlai, which was a reckless one. And I think it's a second one for Marino. Second yellow card. Marino is sent off, and Arsenal are down to 10 men.
Oh, it's a shocking challenge. I mean, straight away when he made the challenge, I thought, what are you doing? And he gets caught out initially by pressure from Diogo Jota, and then Szoboszlai just plays a little reverse ball, and as he plays that ball, he's side in half by Mikel Moreno, who's off balance when he goes into the challenge. But yeah, he's made the right call there, Anthony Taylor. It certainly is another yellow card. It's really poor. It's high on the shin of Szoboszlai.
It actually could almost have been a straight red, that. But it was, I'm pretty sure it was a second yellow. I think I did see the second yellow.
Yeah,
so,
it was, John, you're right.
So he's off. Arsenal down to 10 men for the remainder of this match. He's had an eventful time, hasn't he, Marino, since he came to Arsenal last summer, having to step up and play as the centre forward, which I think in the main he's actually done okay. And having not played in that position since he was at school, and now having scored his 9th goal of the season to make it 2-2, he got himself into all sorts of difficulties there on the edge of the box because he initially miscontrolled it, then dived into a challenge with Nunez, then got to his feet, and he was already, chaos was already ruling, and he dived into the challenge on the Liverpool player.
Well, how often did he say, don't compound one mistake with another? And he did exactly that. And this is going to be interesting, John.
It is.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is now stood over the ball in a really positive position. It suits his eye. I'm not so sure it suits Salah, who's also over the ball.
Yes, I've already raised the possibility that he might have scored his last goal for Liverpool. Maybe not. Free kick. Have to say, with the reaction today, there's one thing he would love to do here. It's to score from this free kick. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Referee Taylor is making some sort of signal. I'm not sure what that's about. So, free kick. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Booed by the Liverpool fans since he's come on. Free kick over the wall. Oh, not far wide. Raya was scrambling there to his right, and I think it hit the stanchion behind the goal and bounced back onto the pitch.
Yeah, when you know that Raya was really in trouble. He actually gambled to his left-hand side, then he started sprawling to his other side of the goal. He was in real trouble, Raya. It had to be on target. I was watching the wall, John. It was on our line, and you could see them edging forward, tiniest of steps, trying to make the goal look smaller for Trent Alexander-Arnold.
So it remains 2-2. Harvey Elliott's getting ready to come onto the field. 2-2, just like it was at the Emirates in the autumn. And they are the teams that are first and second in the Premier League, even though there is this gulf currently between them. 82 points to 67 points is the difference between the new champions and the team that might be runners-up for a third season in a row. Liverpool playing it forward to Alexander-Arnold. Now they're urging him on, because against 10 men they think Liverpool might be able to snatch this again. Salah, heavy touch from Salah, but he's able to win it back from Odegaard. Still going Salah, 30 yards out, just taps it to his left to Gravenberch. Now to Robertson. Robertson's ball in, that's over everyone, beyond the far post, harmless, and bounces all the way through for a goal kick. Lines are open to talk to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton on 5 Live on 606 08 085 909 693. And Arsenal, Odegaard is just coming across to get some instructions. Harvey Elliott is coming on to replace Gravenberch, and play will resume with a goal kick. And I can tell you that Warrington have beaten Lee 21-14 in the second of the Challenge Cup semi-finals, so they will just be rounding that up now on Sports Extra, and then there will be cricket commentary on there from the County Championship on Sports Extra to follow that. 2-2 with 6 minutes to go plus added time. Jota now having come onto the field to the edge of the area, left foot shot dragged across the face of goal. He had options either side of him, went for goal, and his shot was a foot or two wide of the post.
Yeah, the ball was to the left-hand side to Szoboszlai. A brilliant run from Darwin Núñez, just opening the space up down that left-hand side. It was an unselfish run, and it would have just been an easy ball into Szoboszlai. It would have caused the back line of Arsenal all kinds of problems, but he chose the wrong pass.
Goal kick to Arsenal. It's been entertaining, hasn't it?
It's been very entertaining. I'm just looking at what Arsenal have done now. They've moved Bukayo Saka to the left-hand side, up against Trent Alexander-Arnold. Kieran Tierney has now gone to the right of a 5, it looks like, and then Calafiori is also stepping into a midfield position. So they're a little bit lopsided in the way that they've set up.
Certainly are.
Going down to 10 men.
Tierney and Calafiori on the right side of the defence.
Yeah.
2-2 the score. Alexander-Arnold with it on the right. Be back to Wembley in a moment. Great day for Aldershot. There's Salah to Elliott, then back to Salah trying to get there ahead of Lewis Skelly. Still Salah, too many Arsenal players in there, and it's cleared away, and then a foul on Kivior by McAllister. Free kick to Arsenal. Remains 2-2. So to Wembley, Sohail Sahi.
Yeah, we're Aldershot, John. They've won the FA Trophy, beating Spennymoor by 3-0. All 3 goals in the second half, with the pick of the bunch, the third, a dipping strike from Josh Barrett. What a way then for Aldershot to celebrate their 99th year as a football club. The FA Trophy is theirs for the very first time. Full time, Aldershot 3, Spennymoor 0.
Yes, well done to Aldershot. Have you been there? The recreation ground, Aldershot?
I haven't, no.
No, that's they've got some support there. It's a while ago now since I was last there. So well done to Aldershot. Ball played over the top for Salah, but Raya's out of his penalty area. Hoists that, volleys that away downfield. Kanate is underneath that one. Heads it forward, but only to Partey. But Kanate says to Alisson, come and get this, as it's headed forward, and he's got it in his hands, and he overarms it out. And Liverpool attack again with Robertson.
He's offside. How's he offside?
Yeah, offside flag on the far side. And I think that's probably what all of the Liverpool supporters are wondering, how Darwin Núñez was able to get himself into an offside position on the left wing there.
He's looking right down the line. You just have to see it, but at times he's so infuriating because he takes up great positions, but he doesn't need to go that early. He's so quick.
I was reading Barney Ronay in The Guardian last weekend, who described when he came on Núñez at Stamford Bridge as being like a riderless horse, which, and I can see.
Speedboat, no driver.
That's it. That kind of thing. 2-2 the score. And if you weren't listening earlier as well, a great day also for Whitstable Town, who won the FA Vase at Wembley. I'm sure Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton would love to hear from supporters of Whitstable Town. I think it's famous for its oysters, Whitstable. Here is Odegaard. Odegaard slips the ball forward. Calafiori on the chase. Alisson, though, will just walk it out or trot it out for a goal kick. And another change imminent. Looks like Zinchenko is going to come on for Arsenal. So while you've got...
He's going to give them a little bit more balance, is he, on that right-hand side?
I think so.
Another left footer.
Yeah. Now, who?
Saka.
Saka. That's the end of Bukayo Saka, who, again, you know, the Arsenal players put in such an effort in midweek. If he'd scored that second one in midweek in Paris, Bukayo Saka, then I would have loved to have seen what would have happened there. But the last couple of goals that he scored have been in the Parc des Princes and the Bernabeu, but he wasn't able to get one at Anfield. That would have been some trouble if he had, but off he comes and takes his seat. And Zinchenko has come on in a midfield area, so that left side central midfield, where of course he has operated before for club and country. Salah played the ball in field but gave it straight to Zinchenko, and we are now into the final minutes of the 90. 2 minutes to go. Szoboszlai thought he was fouled. That's not given as a free kick. Arsenal go back to Raya. Long clearance from him. Robertson is able to get up and win that ahead of Martinelli. Now here is Darwin Núñez. Núñez heads off, heads goalwards, but Arsenal players converge on him, so it's played back to Szoboszlai. His shot hits the shins of Zinchenko. That rebounds all the way to the halfway line. Kanate gives it to Salah. Salah now running at a back-pedalling Lewis Skelly, then clips it across, takes a flick at the near post, then Robertson volleys over the top, arriving onto it on his left foot, thigh height, couldn't keep it down, over the top, into the cop, and it's still 2-2.
Yeah, big miss from Andrew Robertson. Really good play by Mohamed Salah. This time he goes down the line, and it just takes a little nick off one of the defenders' heads at the near post, takes it away from David Raya, and you're thinking, great opportunity for Andrew Robertson to get a goal, and he just pushes it wide of the post. Really disappointing from Andrew Robertson.
So 2-2. Arsenal playing with 10 men since Marino's dismissal, and a goal kick for Arsenal. Marino dismissed, second yellow card, so he'll be suspended for Arsenal's match against Newcastle. That'll be on 5 Live in the World Service this time next week. 5 Live, the place to listen to the FA Cup final next Saturday afternoon. Indeed, in the remainder of the season, we'll bring you commentaries on the FA Cup finals and all of those European finals as well. 5 Live, the place to listen to them all. And BBC Sounds as well, you'll find 5 Live. Here's Alexander Zinchenko. Martin Odegaard. A little shimmy from him. And then back from Tierney to Saliba. All the way back to Raya. A long ball over the halfway line. 5 minutes of added time to be played at the end of this match. Liverpool, who've won their last 7 home Premier League matches. Quite a run that. And here they come, trying to make it 8 in a row. Ball with Salah on the right-hand side. In all, it's 15 home Premier League matches unbeaten since Forest won here. One of Liverpool's 3 Premier League defeats in this League Championship winning season so far. McAllister back here to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold forward to Salah, down in the full-back position again, running at Lewis Skelly, then playing it back to Elliott. Left foot shot, curling, but over the top of the angle of post and bar, and again into the cup, and a goal kick. And we've had almost a minute of those 5. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, it was just in a position where we so often see Mohamed Salah in that inside position where he's trying to bend it with his left foot. This time it's Harvey Elliott. He can't quite get it to sit down. It's accurate enough, but just a little bit too high.
Half-time Arsenal were looking at what would have been 4 defeats in a row in all competitions. Bournemouth last weekend, the 2 matches against PSG. I have to confess, I wasn't sure if they were going to have it in them to get anything out of this today. So all credit to them. Konate is being forced by Martinelli to take it down into the right-back position. Plays it infield to Alisson. Alisson passes it out. There's space over there on the left-hand side. Arsenal playing with the 10 men. It's kept in by Robertson. Robertson then to Szoboszlai, but Arsenal now back in position as they defend the Kop end. Elliott travels forward with the ball. Then with his left foot, picks out Salah on the right-hand side. Salah moving in field into the penalty area now. Beats 2 men. Lewis Skelly managed just to get a touch on that. And Martinelli back in his own box is able just to, well, try to find touch on the far side. Near the halfway line, it was actually kept in though. Liverpool come again. We're in the 3rd minute of added time. What a reaction there'd be from this crowd if Liverpool were able to snatch the lead back in the dying moments. Szoboszlai, then to McAllister. Alexander-Arnold, the boos have subsided now, they've made their point. Salah, back to Alexander-Arnold, but he was beaten to it by Martinelli. Elliott's ball into the box, that's headed down and away by Kivior. Liverpool again, Arsenal are penned back into the defensive third. Szoboszlai, he looks up 30 yards out, pass to the edge of the area to Salah. Szoboszlai square again to McAllister. McAllister now into the penalty area with his pass to Nunez, but it bounces away from him, and Kieran Tierney's able to run it away over towards the far side and actually just plays the ball away downfield and gives possession back to Liverpool. Into the last 2 minutes of added time now. Again, Liverpool look forward. Alexander-Arnold forward and right of the centre circle in the white boots. Here's the ball into the box, all the way through. Raya came, Jota tried to get there for Liverpool, Nunez slid in as well, and the ball from Alexander-Arnold managed to evade all of them and bounce through for a goal kick.
I think David Raya just does enough to get in the eye line of both Jota and Darwin Nunez. This ball is sensational. It just evades both the players as Trent Alexander-Arnold tries to bend it in from the right-hand side and runs across the 6-yard box, so close.
A minute to go. Mikel Arteta kicks away a water bottle down there. There's something that he's not happy about. Then the ball is cleared out of play by Raya from the goal kick, and I think he wanted the ball delivered out by Raya there, and now the ball's bounced back onto the pitch. And Odegaard is taking it forward for Arsenal. Still going Odegaard, edge of the D, shoots low and wide of Alisson's left post. Goal kick.
Liverpool get away with one. Sloppy play. And now Liverpool break themselves.
Attacking down the left wing. Nunez. The ball takes a ricochet, fortunately for Liverpool, to Jota. Now here is Salah. Salah on the right, running at Tierney, and Tierney's able to get a touch on that and sweep it behind. First time really that Tierney had been in that position today against Salah, but it is a corner. Another ball's on the field. Again, we've got 2 balls on the pitch. Arsenal are trying to organise something. There's all sorts of frantic activity there. Nicolas Jaubert and Mikel Arteta trying to get some message across. Arsenal defending this with 10 men. Might be the last action of the match. We're over 5 minutes now. McAllister to take the corner in front of the Kop. The delivery is deep to the back post. Van Dijk! It's saved, but it's scored by Robertson. But the referee says no. He's given a foul for the challenge on one of the Arsenal defenders. It might well be Saliba who's down there on the ground. And the goal, what would have been an Andy Robertson winner, is immediately rolled out by Anthony Taylor.
Well, it will go to VAR, it will get reviewed. I think the big thing is we'll want to see what the incident's for. It's Konate who brushes aside Saliba. It's almost like a forearm to the chest as he goes down. Saliba makes the most of it. There's also contact on Calafiori from Virgil van Dijk, who gets the header.
I think it's the way that he actually hands off Lewis Skelly initially.
Lewis Skelly, yeah, you're right, John.
Yeah, just seeing the replay being shown here, and I mean, it was a real wrestling match between the two of them. And Anthony Taylor's had a sight of that. And I think with the referee having seen that, this won't be overturned.
No, I don't think it will be overturned, and you have to say credit to the referee to spot that straight away.
Yeah, and boos here, more boos. We've had more than our fair share of boos inside Anfield today. In fact, if you remember, it started with a chorus of boos when the Arsenal team walked out on their own to form the Guard of Honour for Liverpool.
Yeah, it did. John, I'm looking at that incident again, and I'm thinking, what has actually Konate done wrong in that situation? Yes, there's force used to push him out the way, to move him, but it's a physical game.
Physical game, but if the referee sees something
absolutely
and gives it, then that's that.
Yeah, he makes a decision, and that's fair enough.
So there we are, 2-2, just like the Emirates in the autumn. The top two finished 2-2 twice.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will be bitterly disappointed, having led 2-0 at half-time. A poor second half from them, but a much improved second half from Arsenal, who were really good in this second half. Then they lost Mikel Merino, and the game started to switch back into the favour of Liverpool. A hugely entertaining game, which had a little bit of everything, John.
It did. It's another draw on the record of Arsenal, isn't it? 14 draws in the Premier League this season. But I think this is one that I think rightly they should be proud of. Having come back from Paris and the disappointment of Wednesday night and all of the hoopla that went with that and the reaction, you cannot avoid that. You can't ignore it. You can't put it to one side. 2-0 down at half-time. They've shown some character here.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of character in the second half. Well, I think there'll be elements of the Liverpool display that will say they're bitterly disappointed with their second half. But you have to give credit to Mikel Arteta in how he changed that forward position. I thought Martinelli had a huge influence in the second half in the way that he went into that centre-forward position. It caused Liverpool a lot of problems. They dominated the ball in the second half.
However, that means that Arsenal are still not yet certain of the top 5 finish that they need for Champions League qualification. They've got 68 points now. Next weekend, Arsenal against currently third-placed Newcastle is one of our 5 Live commentaries, 4:30 next weekend. But the Arsenal players just going over to their supporters. They've given them something here, and the Arsenal supporters who are still inside Anfield respond to them. And Liverpool players also going around the pitch. What have you spotted there? Or Trent Alexander-Arnold it is. Still thousands of people in the Kop. Trent Alexander-Arnold, first time he's been on the Anfield pitch this afternoon. After coming on as a substitute, many Liverpool fans booing him. Here now, he's only got one more match that he can play in as a Liverpool player at Anfield, and he has gone there. He's not right up to the Kop. He is the middle of the half, but he's applauding to them, and many in the Kop are applauding back to him as well. And now in this main stand as well, Alexander-Arnold clapping his hands. There's a wave up there into the crowd, and likewise I'm looking down on thousands of Liverpool supporters, the majority of whom are applauding back to him and the rest of his Liverpool teammates for that matter.
Yeah, nice touch from the Liverpool fans. I think what they realised was the quality of Trent Alexander-Arnold when he was on the pitch. Those couple of magic moments, the deliveries. How often have we said it, John? not many players in world football can do what he does. I thought the response from him was a positive one.
Yes, so 606 is on the way. Book your call, 08085 909 693. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton, of course. I must mention also Tuesday night, don't miss it, 5 Live Sport, a special programme, The Slot Machine, all about what Arne Slot has done to achieve what Liverpool have this season. And that is with Kerry Kate. So that's Tuesday night on 5 Live, but I'm sure there'll be a version of that on BBC Sounds as well after Tuesday. Stephen Warnock, thank you very much for your company.
Thank you, John.
I look forward to when we're here in a fortnight's time.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Liverpool lift the trophy. So don't miss that on the final Sunday, when I suspect Nottingham Forest Chelsea will be our 5 Live commentary match, but we will see about that. That's a fortnight away anyway. But here, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2 after Gakpo and Diaz. 2-0 up Liverpool, but Martinelli and Marino scoring the goals to make it 2-2. So Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will be on the way after the news on 5 Live with Dan Maudsley.